What up, everybody? I'm back again, probably my third video of the day, with a reaction video. This time, I'm gonna do an Elvis because I'm enjoying that. So everybody keeps telling me so. Mike SBA, shout out to Mike SBA. He wanted me to do this, and it seems like it was interesting, like a documentary or something. So I wanted to get right into this. So let's get right into it.
I thought he was a very beautiful, and still is, a very beautiful person, and his memory shall probably forever live on.
Well, you ain't nothing but a rabbit. You ain't no friend of mine. There is no room in this city for the vulgar performances of Elvis Presley.
It's shocking.
Huh?
I watched him gyrate his legs and swivel.
You fucking serious? That's what people thought about this dude. Like he can't be all like doing his thing he wanted to do when the drums are kicking. He'd be like, "Come on now, that's crazy."
His hips. And our parent-teachers group feels he should not be on television.
We've set up a 20-man committee
We serve white consumers only.
to do away with this vulgar,
I bet you
animalistic,
do.
nigger rock and roll bar. Our committee will check with the restaurant owners and the cafes to see what Presley records is on their machines, and then ask them to do away with them.
You've learned anything from the criticism leveled at you?
No, I haven't,
You haven't, huh?
because I don't feel that I'm doing anything wrong.
You ain't nothing but a
Hound dog.
Rock and roll has got to go. And go it does at KWK. We're all through playing rock and roll records. This week is record.
Yeah, you telling me because of one man? Because of one man? That's how they reacted to rock and roll? Like, come on now. I'm sure there was rock and roll already then. But to Elvis? Damn. I do Elvis.
Record-breaking week here at KWK. And after this week, no more rock and roll will be played on the air.
The obscenity and vulgarity of the rock and roll music is obviously a means by which the white man and his children can be driven to the level with a nigger. It is obviously nigger music.
Everybody mostly turns.
Yo, they love that word nigger though, I see. Yo, it's like funny back in those days. That's why I love this day and age. You know what I mean? I mean, it's still out there, but we're more conscious. You know what I mean? We know. You know, that's not the way to go. We gotta be humans. Stop being ignorant.
Turn them down. And because first thing he had Negroes' ways. This is what they didn't really at that time. It was they didn't want to accept.
By
Stevie Wonder, legend. Cool.
black performers, and he, in essence, because of at that particular time, the kind of backwards mental capability that many people had as judging a person because of the color of their skin is somewhat still does exist. But back then it was worse, and he actually, because of him being a Caucasian brother, he was able to do away with that whole thing.
He's 77-year-old Early Wright, a disc jockey at radio station WROX in Clarksdale for 45 years.
Hi there. Pleasant good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How do you do? This is your soul man to be with you until it gets through. I want you to stand by. Don't have no fear. Following Jay's show, should I play one like this one from out of here? Elvis Presley.
Yo, my man rhyming for everybody, yo. Did you see that? He rhyming. Come on now.
Elvis's songs still get good play on Wright's program among the blues, gospel, and jazz recordings that are its staples. It was almost 40 years ago when Elvis drove down to Clarksdale from Memphis with a record and asked him to play it.
And I had been playing his record, and I had never seen him before. And I was amazed to see when he introduced himself to being Elvis Presley. Then I went all the pieces over. Then he and I started talking.
That's awesome.
I used to be the manager of a gospel group called the Four Star Quartet. And I could listen to a man sing a hymn. I could listen to a man sometime talk. I did that. And I could pick him out whether he could fit in my group. And talking to Elvis Presley, I could see a great future in him.
It's no accident that Wright recognized Elvis's strong gospel roots. Here at the East Trigg Baptist Church in Memphis, older members of the congregation remember Elvis joining in with the choir while in high school. These were rousing sessions led by the charismatic pastor, the Reverend W. Herbert Brewster.
Like most black people in the South, and to whose suit God has pressed down a harp of 1,000 strings, it only needed tuning. Elvis's voice was that type of voice that agreed with the thought of Calvary. He had that kind of bent and inclination and attitude that suggested that God could use him. I gave the music a different approach, a new beat. I knew that it wasn't going to hurt if I said, "Must Jesus bear the cross alone," whether I've said with one beat, two beat, whether I've said it high or low. And I told them, "Come on in here and put your stuff together." They came in here, and it was a glorious experience, and Elvis was in that group.
Elvis came out with a style of his own, and it was very creative. And once he got into it, and you got that feel, Elvis just took off like a late freight. And with Elvis doing this kind of music, gave an injection to black music that no other artist had ever done.
It was like an earthquake in my neighborhood. The whole place was shaking when he came on. And I said, how did a person possess that kind of power? That it even comes off the TV and grab me in this ghetto neighborhood.
Elvis took my Tutti Frutti, and I was very disgusted.
Okay.
But by him singing it, he really made it bigger.
Little Richard.
And made me bigger.
During those days, if it was a white artist doing something, they would just say, they don't like our blacks and we don't like them either. He's nothing but a copycat. But Elvis Presley, when he came on, chicks was screaming and going crazy, and it was essentially like an...
Wow, like the black community accepted Elvis Presley. That's what's up. That's amazing. Back in those days, that was rare. Obviously, you see how they were speaking about the black people back in those days, but that's rare. That's amazing. My man Elvis.
And I said, this guy's got something going, man.
Elvis had something that made him sound like he truly meant it, and that's what made a lot of people like myself like him.
I think Elvis had lots of soul. He appealed to black people. He definitely had to have soul in order to do that.
I think there's ever been an artist that when his name went on the marquee, they knew he was coming. People came from all over the world. I never heard of that.
Elvis did a lot of stuff that, rappers do these days.
He had the bling. You gotta have the bling when you're from Memphis.
He had the bling, he had a Cadillac, he had like a gangster in him. As the snow flies on a cold and gray Chicago morning, a poor little baby child is born in the ghetto.
The song also resonates with people who've only met Elvis through his songs.
Elvis talking about the hood. They're talking about where we come from.
Paul Beauregard and Jordan Houston are the Oscar-winning rap.
Hold on, man. 3 6 Mafia here in this video about Elvis? What? They sampled a lot of these shit. That's why.
Rap duo 3 6 Mafia. They grew up just 2 blocks from Graceland in one of Memphis's poorest neighborhoods.
2 blocks from Graceland.
CD scratcher. My mom used to always listen to this song when I was young. He talked about things that she went through. She had my mom had a bunch of kids, like 9 kids. You know what I'm saying? That's how you get somebody to listen to your song. You talk about what they know about and what they want to hear. And she know about the ghetto, because, she lived in the ghetto.
In the ghetto.
That's it.
And his mama cried.
I remember hearing Elvis say that, I remember him saying that one of his songs, I forgot which one it was. He said something about the ghetto. Like, he was always involved, That's what's up, Elvis a minority,
But if there's one thing that she don't need, it's another hungry mouth to feed in the ghetto.
After we found a part on the record that we want to use, we sample it into the drum machine or the keyboard. That way we can loop it like.
My first line says, first I'm broke, so I hang out with the rat and roach. It's still broke, so I'm sleeping on apartment floors. So it's just like the struggle, you know, what's going on in the hood. First I'm broke, so I hang out with the rat and roach. It's still broke, so I'm sleeping on apartment floors. And I was off beat, but...
Think about that, the influence they had was Elvis. That's crazy. And I guarantee you, not only because they're from Memphis, but because they knew who Elvis was. Their family probably like implemented that in them, like Elvis, you know, and then they use the samples and they Grammy Award winners, yo.
But it's all good because it's on TV. Maybe they do some edits, make me look cool, maybe put my name in the credits.
Once we have all that ready, you know, we load it into the drum machine and then pay out.
So he starts to roam the streets at night and he learns how to steal and he learns how to fight.
Fire.
Survival is everyday task. Watching your back for the man.
Hell yeah.
I say you might get stuck if you in the hood looking like you came up. We ride old school whips high off the ground right beside a player hill. It ain't bad as it seems. Still stay by looking so clean. For some broke soul.
That's crazy. Think about it. Elvis Presley was saying in the ghetto back then. So he knew what the ghetto was back then. And what he started in 56, I believe, 55. So I'm saying probably like 60 probably, or a little early, but in the ghetto. That's amazing. Elvis is a brother.
I never seen a drug dealer ever call it quits. The hood struggle is the make you gotta get the change. See, every day is like a dark cloud full of rain. Trapping for what's dangerous when you hood trapping. So don't get lost in the sauce slinging cold crackling. So help your brother along the way, no matter where he starts.
Word.
But the same God that made you made him too.
That's what I'm saying, yo. Elvis had the same mindset as I do. It's like, yo, we all human beings. We all came from one thing. All the world is related in some way. We came from some kind of species. Like, love each other, yo. Damn. Elvis is the man, yo.
These men with broken hearts.
During the 60s and early 70s, when tensions between blacks and whites were at an all-time high, Elvis demonstrated his desire for racial reconciliation in the musicians that he chose and the treatment they received.
Excuse me. So now I see, every time I see one of his videos in a concert series, he has black women singing the backup vocals. Yo, Elvis is real, B. You know what? Elvis is real. He was trying to unite everybody, yo. Trying to unite.
When we first decided to take the gig with Elvis, we had no idea that there would be any racial flack.
Hold on. This lady took a gig with Elvis. She looked mad young. Like, how old is this lady? Jesus Christ.
Regarding
she
it,
aged well.
Our first racial encounter was when we went to Texas. Elvis was told by his people that, well, you can leave the black girls home. You don't have to bring them. So Elvis wasn't going to do the Astrodome unless his girls could be with him. And he demanded that we be given the start.
Yo, he demanded that his girls be with him. What is that? Come on, man. He got power, yo. And I bet you they did let him.
Treatment. We had to be in our convertible where everybody could see us. And our little blonde could drive us. And that was his statement. You don't like it? Deal with it, or I'm not going to be there. And I thought that was very big of him.
When I joined the group in 1972, they took a big chance because there were no blacks in contemporary or Southern gospel music, and I was the first one, and it made all the hits.
I told y'all, yo, I was saying in one of my videos, like, it sounded like it was gospel. Like, I think I was right. Like, you guys tell me in the comments, you know what I mean? tell me, let me know. Yo, you know what? Just subscribe to my channel and like. And if you don't, you know how I always say, it don't matter. Just watch my videos. Appreciate
Headlines and everything. It was in Billboard and all the newspapers in Tennessee. And my first time meeting Elvis was he had a folder full of clippings of things that he had read about me. As a matter of fact, the Imperials brought me to his suite, and he gave me this folder with all the clippings, and he personally welcomed me into the family. And for a guy who, you know, didn't really know where he stood, this was very important that he acknowledged my presence and, you know, made me feel very much a part of what we were all doing. And right away, he treated me like he'd known me for years. He gave me one of those TCB chains and everything, and I was just one of the guys, and I never forgot that.
And I've been around him with people, other people of color, and I've only seen him give love. He was very generous to people that he didn't even know. You didn't have to be of any racial persuasion for him to love you.
And you know, you know how rumors get started when there's a big star or something. The people will start rumors. Well, he doesn't like this kind of people, or he doesn't like those people or that people. And I never got that from him.
But you know, Elvis is a whole nother thing. It's just...
Hold on, 50 Cent speaking about Elvis? First of all, yo, Elvis is not racist, bro, because if he had black girls in his group and the dude too, come on, man. He ain't racist. And you got 50 speaking about him?
I think it's scary to even be compared to people in that, like, you know, I mean, because he's such a big talent, and in his absence, of course, he's bigger than in his presence. And music marks time, so in this time period, what Elvis was to his period would be something totally different. Well, I think rock and roll, I mean, what he brought to Vegas is more than rock and roll. I mean, I think it's just so much going on out here on the entertainment front.
Oh, my bad, excuse me.
Like right now, you'll see the likes of Celine Dion and Tony Braxton. It's a lot going out here. You know what I mean? As far as rock and roll is concerned, it's great. I mean, Elvis Presley was able to do things that haven't been able to be duplicated to this day.
To this day.
Black American music influenced Elvis. The fact...
Chuck Rock? Public Enemy? Kidding me? So Elvis is the GOAT. Influence everybody. Hip-hop genre, everything.
That people say, well, he's the king of it all, king of rock and roll. It's a slap in the face to those that made the music possible in the first place. Not to say he wasn't brilliant. I think he was a fantastic, talented singer.
I don't think he ripped them off. I think once something is...
Hold on, yo. Did he just say that he disagree that he's the king of rock and roll? Because, yo, what I've watched so far, and probably about 6-7 videos already, yo, to me, I'm more entertained by his music than any other rock music I've ever listened to.
Has been exposed. Anyone can add or take from it if they like. He was just so great, so popular, so hot, so anything that he played, it became a hit. To me, they didn't make a mistake when they called him the king.
The only thing I want to know, was he my friend?
Sammy Davis Jr.
As a performer, did he give the world of entertainment something? Yes, on all counts. And that's the name of that tune.
He was a bundle of energy set to music. And that echo will never die.
Rest in peace, King. Yo, I appreciate y'all for watching this. Shout out to Mike for suggesting me to watch this. Wow. Like, I have no words for this. I appreciate y'all. Subscribe to my channel. Leave a like. And if you don't, you know what I say. Just watch my videos anyway. You know what I mean? So until next time, I'll see you in the next reaction.